Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum, and today I'm reacting to The Spirit of Radio by Rush. This is a special request coming from William, so William, thank you very much for your generous donation and commiserations to your wife. Now, I really like reacting to Rush, listening to Rush, dissecting Rush. Their music is very insightful. It's actually fun music, and when I reacted to La Villa Strangiato, I really got to understand how good they actually are as musicians themselves. So they have all of the things you'd want from a generational band. I'm excited to get into this one. I hope you are as well. If you're new to my channel and enjoy honest as well as thoughtful reactions, hit that subscribe button and let's just jump in. Turn it up. We're in outer space now. The Canada's on the moon. Let's go Getty. Ooh. Alex on the guitar, and then Neil, the professor, on the drums. Oh, this is building. You know, immediately I can just think of watching this in like an 80s movie. Yeah. Wow. That's so weird. I had this thought recently about like the hypnotic ability of music. It's entrancing oftentimes, especially when you find bands that you just love and they speak to your heart. They really, really cast a spell over you. Important to be mindful of. The magic of music. I'm not sure I understand. Pirate radio, that's got to be a pun on people stealing music and then artists not making money from it. I don't know those lyrics. I don't understand them. What is happening? What is this? It's a cool video. It's almost like a comic book. With all these like unique panels. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely like at least if it's not a critique, it's an observation of the way that modern music is handled, maybe from the industry down, because obviously when you're an end consumer, oftentimes you don't even think about all the cogs and the machinery that go into producing the music. But there's a very, very challenging and special relationship that artists have with their producers, with their mixers, with anybody who's there to actually publish their music and broadcast it for the entire world. And oftentimes the people who are doing the publishing, right, they're more business minded and they pretty much only care about the bottom dollar. The actual art itself is more of a vehicle for monetization rather than a vehicle to administer the beautiful art to the world at large. And in some senses, that's why I kind of believe that there should be maybe like third-party non-for-profit organizations in charge of disseminating art and music and movies and film and whatever. Because if we throw away some of that, not bureaucratic, but just overly capitalistic views of art and its management, then maybe artists can actually flourish and they would still enjoy what they're doing. Now, there's another segment that would want to definitely monetize as hard as they possibly could, and then you enter like capitalism, and let's not get involved into that deep discussion, but it's definitely the case that a lot of these cold-hearted publishers, they don't care at all about the artist's sanity or how it turns out in the end for that end consumer. They just want the most amount of clicks, the most amount of listens for its own end, and it's kind of soulless. Yeah. Yeah. Literally. Couldn't have said it better. Getty is so good at just literally hitting the nail on the head. Anytime you start putting restrictions on your self-expression, it becomes a shadow of its former self, and honestly you lose integrity as an individual or as an artist in this case. But any form of self-expression, if stifled, is, I think, lacking a little bit of integrity, lacking a little bit of legitimacy. In this case, it would be a lot of legitimacy if you're publishing music en masse for many people to consume and to learn from, and you're lying about it or you're not being the authentic version of yourself. It feels wrong, and publishers love to exist in that moral gray zone. I'm not understanding the hands. Is this like a universal symbol for clapping? I haven't really paid attention to the guitars as much in this one, but you hear them going to work, right? That's a great line. I've seen like a lot of symbolism now of like these like wavelengths, sci-fi, outer space. I wonder why. Like music being universal. Universal Studios? No. Really cool visuals, I gotta say. And when did this come out? Came out 4 years ago, but this is The Spirit of Radio from Permanent Wave's 40th anniversary. 40 years. I gotta look up how long Rush has been around. Rush, The Spirit of Radio release date. Oops. 1980. 44 years ago. Incredible. Ooh. There they go. How did we do that? How did we do that musically? That was crazy. Okay. The vibe changed. Back to the concert hall. Wow. That is so clever to change the video, to change the vibe. In the big arena, you have this concert vibe. You have to go big or go home. And then when you're home, you get to actually fully self-express. Maybe you just want to lay back with the reggae kind of vibe. Salesman. You have to sell your music. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, you see that? That's so clever. The FM radio, the digits on there being the guitar's neck and frets. Ooh. Literally gives meaning to playing on the radio. Ooh. You see that? Like all of the cogs of the radio itself are creative elements. I guess of the keys there, but you see like there's some cogs, there's some screws. I think there's a baseball in here. There's an eagle, a symbol for freedom. The star. Yeah. Really cool video. Rock person. Ooh. Crazy. Beautiful video. There it is, in memory of our brother Neil Peart. Neil Peart? I don't know how to say it exactly. Rest in peace. Oh my god, guys. I'm really starting to enjoy just Rush for all of their fun bells and whistles, all of their different elements that they bring to the table. It's unlike a lot of bands that you hear, and that, you know, could be like a very like easy way to say it, but truthfully, bands like this don't really exist in the modern era. I feel like they have a very unique charm to them, and it's very clear and evident through these bridge sections as well as the kinds of transitions that they make in their track, how musically talented each and every single one of these members are. Their grasp of polyrhythm, of melodic transition, of scales. I mean, to be like a music nerd about it, there's so many things to rave on and on about. And then in the end, I always come back to Rush and their ability to express interesting and novel meaning in their songs. And in this one, we got a lot of the ideas and tumult between publishers and artists, the, you know, restriction on creativity and self-expression. And then, okay, what, but like, what are the actual cents and dollars at the end of it? If you want to sell out arenas, if you want that vanity, if you want to really appease your ego, you may have to do things that aren't actually what you would want to do inherently. And, you know, I feel like this is almost like a, it's like kind of like a, is it a dead doornail? What's that expression for when something has just been like hit over the head over and over and over again? But artists always like to speak about how they get squashed. Their creative expression goes away the moment that they get licensed and published by, you know, big hegemonic structures above them. And then they realize maybe I should have just remained independent all along. And then they start to sing about their struggles after being released or after leaving those structures. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, if you're looking for a creative outlet, there are many ways to do it. And if you're going to do it, let's say in writing, in music, in content creation, whatever it may be, you have to kind of play that fine line, that balance between like being able to monetize and do what you do and do it sustainably, as well as expressing yourself. And oftentimes you may want to do a 100 to 0 shift in favor of self-expression and creativity. And I definitely see the merits for that. And honestly, that's what I would argue for in an ideal circumstance. But then again, you know, there's like a practical element here. So when you are as big as Rush, it's very easy for them to say, look, be as creatively free as you'd like to be, forget about everybody else. And not that they are saying that, they're just kind of painting the picture. They're being the observers to themselves as well as anybody else who may be entering this space. So at least if you're going into music or going into any creative endeavor with your eyes open, you won't be surprised at the outcome and you won't, you know, regret it later on. So yeah, that was a long-winded rant, and all that to say there's a lot of greatness in Rush and there's a lot more for me to discover. So please leave more recommendations for me in the comment section down below. I greatly appreciate that. If you enjoyed my reaction, hit that subscribe button and have a great rest of your day. Take care and peace.